All right. So I've got Addie back with me. I mean, this is going to be part two of our discussion. Now, we try to keep them to maybe about 12 minutes or so, so that it's going to be easier for editing and that. So we're going to have a part one, part two, maybe, I'm not sure, a part three. I think we'll be pretty much done. So what we want to do now is we want to talk about black money. Now, Addie's going to explain how money moves in India, how the economy, how money moves, and he's going to explain how it is, and then he's going to explain a little bit how it is once Mr. Modi sort of removed the 500s and also the 501,000 bill rupees, right?
Yeah.
All right, so now I think first of all, I need you to tell me how money moves down, like black money from the wealthy, how it moves down to the poor, and how this black
Wait
money.
a second. Wait a second.
What do you mean? Wait.
The
Okay.
money doesn't move down in India. It moves upwards.
How can that be?
Right. Okay.
Jesus, how can that be?
Right. If you go to a government office, um, you've got a clerk outside, a guy. Okay.
Okay.
You take a file. You've got a request. It could be any request. You take a file, and you stop at the clerk. If there is a 20 rupee note or a 50 rupee note in there, that file's gonna make it in to that office much quicker.
This is
Okay.
like key money.
It's yeah,
You call it
it's
black
just,
money, right?
no, it's just
Oh.
like bribery, okay?
Oh.
So those money, like the clerk is getting paid, white
Uh-huh.
money. That comes through the bank and everyone knows about it, okay?
Okay.
I'm trying to explain you how it goes from down to up, and then what the up people do to
Going
the
down.
Okay.
Okay.
Because it doesn't happen up to down and down to up. It goes up to like down to up and up to down in India. It's
Okay.
the other way around.
It's
That's
up to
how, that's
it's
how it
down
works
to up and then
up to down.
oh my God. Okay.
And or
Okay.
it stays up.
Okay.
It just stays up. Okay. Um,
Okay.
so you pay this guy a little bit extra money to do your work quickly.
Is
So
this called black money?
It
It's
is
just money.
It is money. It
Okay,
is just
okay,
money.
okay,
Okay. For
okay.
now, it's just money. Okay.
Okay.
But it is in a way black money because it's unaccounted for, because his
It's not in the
salary
tax.
is not taxed, and basically it's not taxed, so it is black money.
And it doesn't go through the bank.
It doesn't go through the bank. It
Got
goes cash in hand. Okay.
Got it.
It's like you just put in the as a tip.
Okay.
Just say as a tip.
Okay.
It doesn't go through a salary. Tips are shared by the waiters, and they are not taxed on it.
Okay.
Exactly the same way.
Okay.
So, but then that guy is at a very low level. So what he does, he gets happy and he buys a box of sweet, new clothes for his kids, and he uses that.
That's the cashier.
That's basically the clerk.
The clerk. Sorry, the
very
clerk.
bottom clerk.
Okay.
So he's a good guy. He's like nothing else. His salary is too low, so he does that just for his
Survival.
survival.
Okay.
Then the file goes to the office. So you then go to the guy sitting in an office. Now he's a officer, saying there are A grade, B grade, C grade officers, okay? A grade being at the top, B, and then C at the very bottom. So you first go to the C grade officer, and over there you might have to pay 100 or 150 for him to do the work more quickly. Because his salary is a bit more than the clerk, but he's also on a different level, like maybe a lower middle class. So his expenses are that little more. So he
they
again
charge
goes
more.
out and he spends that extra 150 that he takes from other people, and he spends that, and it goes into the economy. It goes into the economy.
Okay.
Then it happens in the same way with the B grade officers, whereas you might have to pay him 300, 400 rupees to do his work.
Now I have a
That's
question.
corruption.
Okay, now I have a question.
Okay.
So this is the same person. First he goes to a lower level clerk.
Yes, you have to pay every, like it depends
And then
on
he
how
gets
big.
the work back. Then he has to go up and then pay
Yeah.
this level back, take
Yeah.
it, get that work done, and
It's,
then
the system
oh,
is
jeez.
designed this way. It's a corrupt system designed this way, so everyone can survive. because the salaries, the government salaries are so low in India that you cannot help but corruption has to happen.
So this is causing, like I've lived
It's
in
cause and
Thailand.
effect. It's cause and effect.
Ah, okay. So it's
Okay.
systemic, right?
But
From this.
if they hire, if they put their salaries a bit higher, that wouldn't happen. Like in India, you can go out with all little, you know, law breakings with money.
Okay.
You don't need to wear a helmet, and you can slip a 200 rupee note or 200 rupees. Voila, you got it. But because
Thailand's like that.
yeah, you see, but every country which is like that is where the police officers, the government officers aren't paid very well. Because, and they have to have so many to keep the employment ratios high as well. Because there are just so many people in India.
Okay, now I have a question. So this is going.
This is going up.
This is going up like on the government level, but do
Yes.
businesses do this as well?
Like, it's the businessmen who are paying the money to the government people, right?
Oh.
Like, let me explain.
Okay, I'm listening.
So
Sorry.
then the A grade officer, okay? The A grade officer takes maybe 1,000 to work. Then that travels up to lower politicians. The guys that we have elected, down to a mayor or something. Let's say you are a big businessman.
Yes.
You want to open a company. You want to open a factory. But it's a green zone. So you could always come up with a nice BMW or maybe, or no, sorry, it wouldn't work in India. Because if there was a politician driving a BMW, people will question, wait a second, where did you get this money from? The taxman's gonna knock on his door. So then what happens? It's a bag. And you know how money is counted in India?
Gold,
No.
like physical, like paper money.
Paper money.
Oh, okay.
Like you would have a million, a billion, in way, right? In India, it's a box, or a bigger box, or a suitcase, and they have denominations. Like a box could be 100,000. Then
So
a
the
bigger
size
box.
of a box.
Because you don't want to say how much money you are saying, because it's all corruption.
Okay.
So then he said, okay, if you want to build a factory, you can put 2 boxes next to my door, and I'll sign the papers.
Okay.
Okay. So now all this money is going to the higher, basically the politicians.
Okay.
Okay.
We call them the movers and shakers,
Yes.
basically.
So, but that money they cannot use, because it's not as simple as a clerk that he can just go and put it into the economy. And those politicians are the most selfish, and corrupt.
Evil. Jesus, you're describing human nature just about
Like, I
every
just don't
culture.
want to start swearing.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
just while everyone's listening.
Have some more coffee.
Yes.
Okay.
So just let me put my anger a bit down with the coffee. And then your higher politicians. Now, if a businessman has paid 2 boxes
Of
to
money.
this, of money, like say.
And this is black money now?
This is black money, because
Okay.
he's not gonna give a check. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Neither he's gonna swipe a debit card or a credit card. So you see where again, coming to your point one,
So
India
now
going
money-
cashless.
Yeah.
If you're an Indian, you will just laugh if anyone tells you India going cashless.
So this money that moves from the bottom to the top.
Then the top never uses it.
What the?
So there could be, like, they do use it, but it is then, it goes to a very high level. I'm just, it goes to much, much, much higher level. But a businessman who has paid so much money just to make his factory to a politician, you think he's going to do everything good? And he's going to think about the people? You know, like when these businesses open, these factories open,
Mm-hmm.
a young guy, 18-year-old, or sorry, 24-year-old, just graduated, can find a job.
Mm-hmm.
They could go in and they say, I'll not pay you any money for 3 months.
What do you mean? Like these
It's,
businesses in India
yeah,
can
big
hire
businesses.
somebody.
Yeah, and they don't pay them salary for the first 3 months.
Why is what?
It's kept as a deposit so that this guy doesn't run away.
Isn't that against the law?
Isn't corruption against the law?
Okay, I'm listening. Go on. Yeah,
Like
yeah, you're right. So
he
they
just
have
made
no
a
choice.
factory on a green zone.
Okay.
Isn't that against the law?
Yes.
So he had to pay. Now he's running thin,
Okay.
but he needs his factory up and running. So he tells this guy, a young guy, you want a job? I've got other 2,000 applicants right behind you.
Mm.
You work 3 months. I'll keep that salary just in case you run away the next day. Then forget about that.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
So this poor guy is working for 3 months.
No
No
money.
salary. The fourth month he gets his normal salary, but he doesn't get
Those
the
three
first
months.
3 months is kept as a security by the company.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I got it.
You know what I mean?
I know
It's a
exactly.
security,
Okay.
okay? And that's how it works. So then you think, but the business man, he's earning the money from the very first month when he starts his factory. His factory's up and running. He's got so many employees all waiting for a salary for the first 3 months,
Mm.
and they become rich
Okay.
and richer
And
and
Richard.
richer, and the politicians also become rich and rich. And now these people have money.
Okay.
Okay, so they go and buy a land.
Okay, so basically, this is how they sort of like, and this all is black
It's
money
money.
that has to be. It
It's
can't
a
be electronic.
corruption
No credit
black
card.
money. No,
No,
no
no,
trace.
no trace.
It's untraceable.
No
It is.
Bitcoin.
What Bitcoin?
Okay, I got it. I know. I'm just joking. I'm
Okay.
joking. I'm joking. All right, go on.
So
Okay.
yeah, no Bitcoin.
Okay.
There are no coins throwing here.
Okay.
You know, they only know notes, and they're blue in color.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the favorite
Like
color
in
is
Taiwan,
blue.
that's
Yes.
our favorite color too.
Yes.
1,000 NT notes, blue.
Okay.
Thailand's the same. Well, Thailand's they're white. Anyway, go on. I'm
anyway.
listening.
So basically, then this money travels up,
Yeah.
and now these people cannot use it because they ain't paying any tax on it, or they're paying very little tax.
Okay.
They always show, oh, I have 1,000 employees. How am I supposed to make money? And they hire these accountants, very well accountants, or maybe even 2 or 3 accounting firms to do their accounts to come out of this, to not pay tax. Okay, so they don't pay tax. And if they are paying any tax, the end user pays that tax. They just increase the
They
price.
push it down.
They increase the price. So who suffers? Again, the people at the bottom. Because this factory, if any government puts tax on that guy, he just puts his products more expensive, and that's how the inflation is going higher and higher in India. The thing that I used to have, you know, like I could buy with 5 cents, now is 50 rupees. So
That's
basically,
everywhere just about. But anyway,
yes,
we're talking India.
That's a different, you know,
Story.
But then again, that's how it's done. So this guy doesn't pay tax because all his tax is just paid by the poor people.
Okay.
And on top of that, they are not getting paid any salary for the first 3 months.
Man.
And now these people have money.
So they have money.
On the top, the very top, they have. Some people could have money as to like maybe say a size of your house, just full with notes.
So whoa, stop.
Imagine that. Okay.
So I walk into. So these are wealthy people that have houses and they have rooms in these
Like
houses.
they just leave that first 3 feet by 3 feet without the money so that the door can open. Otherwise, they need to have a
Are
sliding
you serious?
door. Or they might have a sliding door to maybe pack in more notes.
So there's houses with rooms with
There was a
money.
politician, I wouldn't name any names over here, but there was a politician. Her daughter got married, and every invitation to a Tom, Dick, and a fucking Harry
Whoa.
went on a silver plate.
I know weddings are very prestigious over there.
Yeah, but a silver plate. And that was just the invitation. So imagine what happened during the wedding and the gifts that were given to the guest who went there to attend the wedding.
So this is all black money from those rooms that were taken from the system and paid out.
Yes.
Or given.
Given.
Okay.
Just as gifts. You know, it's they have to show their status, how big they are.
Okay.
And that's whose money?
People's money.
And it didn't go through the economic system. So it didn't go through the tax man. So when you
didn't go through a bank, a tax man,
so when at the end of the year, when the Indian government, the big guy, does the balance sheet, he's like, we're in a deficit. Where did all this money go? And the money just keeps disappearing. And we always say we are very poor. India is a very poor country. But yes, the bank balances don't match. We print the money, it goes out and never comes back.
I got it.
It goes out and never comes back.
So they're holding and hoarding on that. Now tell me, okay, so now let's
so now
say
how it moves down.
Yeah, let's
or
hear
it doesn't move down. Okay? So
okay.
These people
At the very
now,
top.
At the very top, they probably have a land in their side. Now it's all done by different names. Someone could be dead and they can just pick up their death certificate, take it out of the system, and that person becomes alive out of a sudden, and they buy a land on that person's name.
Jesus, they do that in Japan. Go on.
Okay, so it cannot be traced. If you try to trace that person, you will never find that person because that person is probably 6 feet under the ground. Then they make this, so they have to hire a contractor, a builder, and then that contractor and builder and engineer, they have to hire people like my father who go in to a site and tell them how much material they will need, and we supply them with the material.
Okay.
Okay.
So the money, so explain, so now they want to, so this is a wealthy people, politician, businessman, and they want to build, they've got the land, maybe they want to build an office building or just something personal.
Yeah.
Okay, so now they...
Not personal, it's always for sale.
Oh.
It's always for sale. Apartments, offices, I don't know.
Anything in a
that
city,
that they
a
can
building,
sell. Yes.
a building, got it.
Okay.
Okay.
They wouldn't have it on their name. It cannot be traced back to their name.
Okay.
So they are building that. They say, okay, I'll pay you this much money. They say, I'll give you 10% of the money now. You start the work and get it done.
Cash. Got
okay?
it.
And it's always in a percentage. So say if 10%, of that 10%, maybe they'll give 2% of white money, so through a bank check, and the rest is black money.
Got it.
Okay?
Okay.
So then this guy has that money and he goes to a person like my father, and we go there and we ask, right, this is how big a property is and this is how much product we give. And they start negotiating as to how much credit they're gonna get, depending on their, how good they are and how long they have been in the business.
Oh, okay.
So then it's credit.
Okay.
So my father has to suffer credit, whereas these people on the top, they have money
Holding the money.
in their rooms.
Okay.
Okay. So we have 3 months credit, 6 months credit. After 3 months, we've supplied, the building's on the way. Halfway down the line, this guy says, I've got no money. The business guy.
Even though he has money in a room?
Yes.
Maybe. Okay.
He has. He definitely has.
Okay.
And he says, I've got no money. You still have to work. But you need to get it done. So now the builder and the contractor has to take out money, or they have to have more credit. And that passes down to my father, and then
Down to the workers.
But like my father cannot tell to the poor laborers, because he lives by the day. What he earns,
Hand them out today.
yes, it's basically what he earns. He eats, he drinks, and then nothing
Sleeps
left,
and then
and then
back to work.
Back to work. because most of these laborers are farmers. Because farming doesn't happen during so many seasons because of extreme weather. So they come to the cities to become laborers, and they live by the day.
Yes.
So that's how it happens. So my father cannot sell, not give you money. So my father still has to pay money.
So he has to
So
pay
from
out.
from being a higher middle class, we start to become a middle class because we keep paying the money to these people, but we don't get the money.
You have to put the
From
money up front before you get paid.
Yeah, before we get paid, but we have to keep paying our expenses. On top of that, if that businessman like my father has a son or a grandson, they still have their own expenses every month. So they start to becoming, from higher middle to maybe middle, and then from middle to lower middle.
Depending upon how long.
Yes, and that's happening everywhere in India all the time. Okay.
Jesus. Okay.
And once it's built, then what this guy says, I'm not able to sell it. I have no money. I'm not able to sell it. I have no money.
Whoa.
So there are people that haven't paid my father in the last 5 years.
So your father is on the hook for not getting paid for a building that he built, and
not he built, he supplied all the raw material.
oh, sorry, that's right.
So now there are so many people. The builder hasn't got paid. Neither the contractor has got paid. Neither the engineer has got paid. But they're all working.
Oh.
And they
That
get
sounds
paid,
like madness.
They get paid tip. When it's really, they get angry, they get a tip. A percentage of their entire, maybe a 2%. Oh, okay, take this much. But I really don't have any more than that. Take this much. I really don't have any more than that. But then that guy is, like, his son goes in a Jaguar E-Class to school. And he's in a Mercedes AMG. And he still says, I don't have money. Do you know what I mean?
I got it.
So the rich become richer and richer.
And the poor are stretched.
They are just stretched. So that higher middle class and middle class is just juggling up and down, up and down, up and down. Everyone's getting from up to down.
Okay,
so now what Modi has done. Okay, 2 years back when Modi came into power.
I want you to share that with these people because they, of course, everybody now that I'm reading articles and I have discussions with people, kill Modi, and I'm going, what are they talking about?
Okay.
Okay, so maybe what we should do here is let's stop here and let's sort of go through a part 3, and I'm going to get you to explain this. All right. So again, for all you people that are listening, we're going to sort of do a pause, and then we're going to go, and this is going to be part 3. All right. Thank you very much.